Hey, Mark King here, and here's an interesting article from Washington Examiner. Now, I'm not I've never interacted with TikTok. No idea about it. I don't care to use it. What I think is men tend not to care about social media like women do, but there's a caveat. I think people on the left care about Twitter, and people on the right really care about YouTube. It's like the ideas on YouTube are dominated by the right, while Twitter is dominated on the left. But the reason that is because Twitter bans people on the right in vast numbers compared to the left. So that's really why. And it's like an echo chamber. That's what people say is echo chamber. So Twitter is like a real echo chamber. If you don't like something, Twitter will ban you. So anyway, so here's an article about TikTok. It's I think everybody knows TikTok is a Chinese run basically social media Instagram type site. Again, I don't know. I just know people dance on it and post things, and I could do without it. But anyway, this is interesting. Pro life group banned from TikTok for being pro life. So on Thursday afternoon, Live Action posted a 15-second clip on social media platform. It shows young women copying viral trend, holding up two candles, each front of one, each in front of one option. The right, she reads, "Be pro-abortion," left, "Be pro-life." Help. Here's the thing, right? So these words are all tricky, right? Well, Okay, so how do I say this, right? Yeah, it's not really pro-abortion. Pro-choice is really tricky, right? When people hear choice, oh, it sounds like a good word. So again, a lot of truths are hidden behind euphemisms, right? In reality, it should be pro pro baby killing, and this should be pro saving babies. That's a true way of listing it because, but again, all these are mass marketing terms. They know if they really said the truth in the title, nobody would do it, right? So basically, imagine like just give this a ratio like 30% of women or 40% of women okay with abortions, but if you just change the terminology, you'll probably see it shrink to maybe 15%. There's something as simple as words can alter somebody's thinking. This is why people like say like when you put modifiers in front of like a verb or a noun, you're kind of manipulating people when you put those modifiers in there, and you're lying essentially. This is why people say if something like justice is okay, but when you put social in front of justice, it becomes evil. Anyway, TikTok is a Chinese communist tool, and it's like you see like again, women love themselves so much. They're very narcissistic. This is what people do not seem to comprehend. It's a pretty old article by the way, but I didn't really keep up with TikTok. But anyway, they again, women are very narcissistic. That's why you see women all over Instagram. They want likes. Same thing with TikTok. I don't know any other media sites. Maybe dating platforms. I have no idea, but they all want the attention. It's in the DNA to want the attention, and sometimes they even know why they want it. The reason they want it is because they want male attention. That's really it. And yeah, I won't go too much into the article because it's kind of old, but yeah, that's it. They banned the they banned something that's considered pro-life and pro-choice. It doesn't make sense why it's banned. Anyway, here's the follow-up article, and this is also from late last year, and it's just okay. So these were like the beginnings of like people knew that TikTok was a Chinese funded, basically a funded Chinese funded program, device, company. People came up with it, and here's the thing about okay, so communists know exactly what they're doing, right? This is how they operate, right? Like what was it? I think it was like 2, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe even 10 years. It's been a while. China start instituting this policy of trying to get more masculine men. And when you have effeminate men, culture dies because they don't. How do I say this? They don't want to score. you know. And it's like, and you see little inklings of what the Okay, so basically, if a two parents high IQs will produce a high offspring IQ child. Your parents are too low IQs, they'll produce a low IQ child. And this is kind of like what the this is kind of like why the Chinese government pushes identity politics in America. Okay, they want to lower the IQ. This is my belief. Through using identity politics, it isn't working because people naturally want to be with, well, others who kind of like. Okay, so females particularly want to be others who are like that have the same ethnicity essentially. Men kind of don't care, because we always think the grass is green on the other side because we've been through the ringer. We know what it's like. But because we're exposed to one type of female, men kind of like think, oh, this particular type will be better. Um, and you see it in like the dating surveys and things like that, how it's laid out. I don't want to get too much into that because some of these things can be very sensitive to certain people. Yeah, I'm one of these guys. I would prefer honesty. I don't care if it makes me look bad. I would prefer honesty. It's like if you live in a culture of lies, things will deteriorate to to, to unbelievable extents. And we see it right now. Women tend to not understand their own thinking. This is why, like, women will come to the man for advice. If they don't have a man for advice, they'll go to the government or a trend in society which is usually pushed by the media, which is pushed by the government. And it's not even necessarily the United States government. It's the communist Chinese or even the Russian propaganda. There are a lot of enemies in the world, and people have these crazy thoughts that, well, if we defund the military, kumbaya will happen. No, other countries will invade. You think when Trump won in 2016, you didn't think Canada, if America didn't have a military, you think Canada would have been like, oh, sorry, that this was the wrong result. You think that guy Trudeau wouldn't have done it? He would have. He would have. The only thing that keeps diplomacy alive is the fact that America has an army. Okay, all right. If you don't have an army, they will invade and they will take you over. This is why you need men, masculine men. Okay. Anyway, that's it. I won't touch upon these things too much. These are old articles, but I just found it interesting how they kind of tied. And this was like a few months ago before the whole China TikTok thing really started breaking in the media. Anything owned by the Communist Party is propaganda. Okay, That's, there's no mixing any words. It's propaganda. Alright, guys, take care. Hope you enjoyed. Share, save, subscribe, thumbs up, the usual story, and that's it. Stay tuned. I'll do a couple more stories for the rest of the day. Bye.